Hello everyone, it is Jayden and welcome to The Alpha, the show where we talk about the hottest topics in pop culture and sports. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button on the video, and if you enjoy my commentary and myself truly as always, be sure to tap that subscribe button and to hit that notification bell to get notified when all my videos go live. I love you guys so much. Peace, love, and positivity always, y'all. See ya. And they had a really interesting segment that they went over, and there was a report by Jay Glazar. The Eagles offered at least two first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a fifth-round pick to the Cowboys for Micah Parsons. And the Dallas Cowboys declined, unwilling to trade him to a division rival. Now, y'all know me. I have been on this side of the coin saying that I do believe that the Dallas Cowboys should have, and I believe could have, gotten a whole lot more for Micah Parsons than what they got with this report. And when I first saw it, I was sitting there, I was thinking, man, that's a hard deal to pass up. But ultimately, after thinking about it, because at first, the 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a fifth-round pick. And maybe I think you could have probably dibbled out with the Eagles and getting a few players like a young pass rusher in Nolan Smith. Who knows? But ultimately, I do think that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys made the right decision. It was a smart move. You cannot trade Micah Parsons within the division. It is like an internal sin to the fan base and to the organization. And to just football, what's the word I'm looking here? Just professionalism 101. You cannot deal with teams in your division. You cannot deal with your competition. Now, you may sit here and think as well, like, okay, Jayden, you say you can't deal within your competition, so why did you deal them to the Packers? That's another conversation another day. And if you want to make that argument, I agree with you as well, because I'm the one when they made this trade to the Packers. I'm sitting here like, why are you trading Micah Parsons to a team who you have not had a lot of success to the last 3 times you've met in the playoffs specifically? But yeah, here we are. But ultimately, I think it was a smart job by the Cowboys to do what they did. And I'm glad they did it because the Philadelphia Eagles are coming off of winning a Super Bowl, and they were Super Bowl contenders going into this year. And after watching the Philadelphia Eagles against my Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night, they were needing a pass rush. So one could imagine if they had Micah Parsons on that line, who knows what that game could have looked like with Micah Parsons. And it may be another thing with the Packers situation where, it may be the missing piece that the Philadelphia Eagles may have ultimately needed. But got to give credit to Jerry Jones. He didn't take the bait because Jerry Jones. Historically, Dallas has not made a lot of smart decisions when it comes to trading players. When we traded Amari Cooper that year, and I think we only got a 5th-round pick for him or something like that. It was like we gave up nothing. We got back nothing in return for Amari Cooper's services, when we should have got a whole lot more. So it is. I'm glad to see that they, Jerry Jones wasn't able to get hoodwinked because this was a classic Philly move. Aggressive Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman is going to try and get the best players on his team to go play for the Philadelphia Eagles, which is something I wish we could have up in Dallas. But he did that, so he did something that, he already knew this was probably going to be a no, but he gave it a try anyways. He went, got on the phone with Jerry Jones, and made an offer to him. I was like, hey, we'll give you 2 firsts, a third, and a 5th from Micah Parsons. And he said no. But ultimately, when I got this news and I heard it, and I'm sitting here like, okay, I still believe that the Cowboys could have got more for Micah Parsons than what they got. Maybe 2 firsts, Kenny Clark, and maybe 1 or 2 late-round picks. I think they could have got 1 or 2 late-round picks in addition to Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers. I think as well, after watching the Green Bay Packers, they got a lot of young talent on that defense. Quay Walker, I would have probably traded for him. Luke Van Ness, I could have probably got him too. Extra help on the defensive end position. Maybe got one of them inside nose tackles that, I think it was number 96. A guy who was flashing on my screen a lot yesterday in the run game. Maybe could have got him as well, along with, it's hard to get that along with Kenny Clark. So let's just cancel out number 96. We got Kenny Clark, so we got him. But let's maybe Quay Walker. Maybe one of those Luke Van Ness, one of those edge rushers. You could have got him for Micah Parsons, and you would have let him keep Rashad Gary. They weren't going to make that deal without keeping Rashad Gary to begin with, because you're trying to add to your pass rush. It's like addition by subtraction. Okay, you lost Rashad Gary, which was a great pass rusher, but yet you get Micah Parsons, a great pass rusher. So you're not getting a profit here. You're basically just switching guys out. We got to be able to be elite at the pass rush. So we need both guys there. We need both Rashad Gary and we need Micah Parsons. So ultimately, the Packers were never going to do a deal without Rashad Gary. But I have been, again, I believe Dallas could have got more than what they got. Still, you got 2 first-round picks. Cannot argue with that. So you got 4 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. You could use one of those picks, trade up and get a player who you want. Trade up and get that edge rusher. Trade up and get that linebacker, which we're going to need that linebacker, which is, I'm very questionable, and I do not understand why they never pulled the trigger on getting somebody like Quay Walker off of their hands, because Quay Walker is young and he's explosive, and that's what the Dallas Cowboys are needing, and that's what they are missing. So when this story came out yesterday, I was sitting there like, I'm going to save the Chiefs and the Chargers thing, and I'm going to just pretty much give my 2 cents on this Micah Parsons story, because it is a very interesting story nonetheless. But Micah Parsons excelled yesterday as a Green Bay Packer, and just seeing him do what he did in the pass rush, and the Packers still able to stop the run, it was quite depressing, I can say, because I'm sitting there like, you know what? If Jerry Jones in the front office wasn't as inept as they were at being able to acquire proper talent, go out and get proper talent via trade or free agency at the nose tackle position, we would have never been in the position that we were to have to trade arguably the best player on our team. But we had to do it. So the other team in the Green Bay Packers, who were already good at stopping the run, and they showed it yesterday with Micah Parsons in the lineup, and you saw what they were able to do to that Lions offense. Granted, the Lions offense that had a lot of question marks, new OC, not the same offensive line. But man, if y'all guys looked at that tape yesterday and watched that game, you saw what Micah Parsons did to Penei Sewell yesterday in his very first rep he had as a Green Bay Packer. Well, a man can dream. A man can dream. But ultimately, the Cowboys made a good decision, I think. Got Kenny Clark. You're not going to find anyone as talented as Micah Parsons. I don't think they're going to be able to refill that position, because Micah Parsons is a generational talent. 52.5 sacks in the 4 years he was there. He was in the same conversation as Reggie White in that front, and then he was having the same type of conversation with being in the same light as Lawrence Taylor and the type of impact he made in the game. So that's the type of player you gave up. But after watching what the Cowboys did on Thursday night, one can surmise positivity. Those the way these upcoming 2 drafts are going to be, and the way these NFL college football guys, they're scouting these players, they do this for a living, and the way the way they're putting up and they're throwing out these words like this is the best 2 upcoming drafts we've had in years. Granted, they probably say that about every year, who knows, but if these guys say these upcoming drafts are as good as they say they are, the Dallas Cowboys are in good hands with those 4 picks. Take those 4 picks, get you a wide receiver, screw up the O-line, maybe get you the right tackle, because I don't think Terrence Steele is going to maybe 2 more solid years left in him. Get a little more younger at the right tackle position. Get you a linebacker and get you a nose tackle. Get you an edge rusher, maybe even a safety. Caleb Downs. That's the guy on my wish list in next year's draft. Would I love Jerry Jones and them to possibly get their hands on him? I would. But we're just going to have to wait and see. So that's the interesting story that came out. And I'm glad Jerry Jones didn't take the bait. And classic Philly doing classic Philly things. Trying to bamboozle Jerry Jones into making a stupid deal. And making them look superior than the Dallas Cowboys. But Jerry Jones did not take the bait in that front. So I am happy for Jerry Jones that he did not do that. So let me know what you guys thought down below. Did you think that Jerry Jones should have taken the deal by Howie Roseman? I don't think he should have, and I think he made the right deal, even though I still wished he was able to deal Micah Parsons elsewhere than the Green Bay Packers, because you gave away Micah Parsons to a team that you couldn't beat the last couple of years when you needed to beat them. But I digress. We're not going to get that deep into that. I want to know of your comments down below.